Silvolt here. Just back, well, when I watched Jurassic World, and this is my thoughts on it. I haven't done one of these movie ones for review. Some people have mentioned that I never did a Age of Extinction video, so I'll give you my thoughts on that one now. Boring. But this one is about Jurassic World, and I will point out spoilers! So if you haven't seen the film, and you don't want to know what happens in it, then I suggest you go watch the film and then come back and watch this video. If you don't mind, knowing what happens, then go ahead and watch. So, spoiler warning out the way. From this point on your own heads be it. So, Jurassic World, what did I think? Well, I can sum it up in 2 words. Fucking stupid! Scene of the dinosaur coming out of the egg. I've seen better graphics on Skyrim. Then the next scene is the little cutie little thrush bird. Also CGI. Seriously, could you not have got a camera and just fucking zoomed? It would have been far easier and far more cost effective to just zoom in on an actual fucking bird. This movie was just so ridiculously, now I know it went through production hell for a while between this person not coming in and this person saying they'll do it, then not, and whatever, but it is just so fucking lazy. This film can be perfectly summed up by the Ian Malcolm quote in the first movie. You stood on the shoulders of giants, and then you didn't go as far, I can't remember the actual quote now, I should have fucking written it down and had it in front of me. You stood on the shoulders of giants, paraphrasing, but you stood on the shoulders of giants, you saw what they had done before you, and then you just jumped on it, and you didn't stop, and you were so busy wrapped up in the fact that you could that you didn't stop to think if you should. The whole film is lazy, and it's uninspired, and it's stupid, and it's got no thought into it. All they do is just bounce off Jurassic Park and aliens. I'll get to that. They just bounced off Jurassic Park expecting the nostalgia of the first film to carry this second film. This film had a budget of 150 million. Jurassic Park, I think, was 63. And my God, the CGI in the original is better. Character motivations are, well, very one-dimensional. I mean, Star-Lord. Yeah, I know that's not his name in the movie, but if it looks like a Star-Lord, and it acts like a Star-Lord, and it talks like a Star-Lord, it's a fucking Star-Lord! He's a Navy SEAL who is suddenly now able to train velociraptors in the way that you train a dog. I'll get to the velociraptors as well. Coupled with workaholic aunt who neglects her family duties. I cannot now remember a single name of anybody. Oh, I can. I can remember 2 names. The first, the guy who provided an awful lot of the money, and he's kind of like the John Hammond of the film, his first name was Simon. I learned that from the end credits. I couldn't fucking tell you what his surname was. The other guy I recognised was Henry Wood. I'll get to him. So, the plot of the movie revolves around workaholic woman who obviously is going to have her whole world turned upside down when it goes to shit, Navy SEAL dude, and 2 random fucking kids who are blatantly only in there for the nostalgic references to Lex and Tim. One of them is, well, he looks about 14, and his thing is, he's a sully teen who looks at babes, by the way, are far too old to be smiling at him the way they do, but there we go. And then you've got his kid brother who's a fucking genius. Fine. You want to have a hyper-intelligent kid in there? Grand, go ahead. But if you're going to make it a plot, if you're going to have it as part of his character, you need to fucking do something with it! The most intelligent thing that he does with his genius level IQ is fucking figure out his parents are getting a divorce. And how? He Googles the name of the lawyer! shown several times, it needs to have some form of point, and it has no point. It has no fucking point. There is nothing in this movie that he needs to use his hyper-intelligence for, because he spends most of it running away from the fucking mutant dinosaur. His intelligence is never brought in as a payoff. The other brother, well, he's just there. You one who played Morgana in BBC's Merlin, Kate McGrath, she's in it. She serves no fucking point. She's a glorified nanny for the kids to get away from in youthful hijinks. In 10 minutes of it. You've got the giant Monosaurus. I keep wanting to call it the Pleurodon, because I've watched BBC's Walking with Dinosaurs, which was a lot more intelligent than this. Who does dolphin tricks that you see at SeaWorld. Oh, and point of view, physics! Right, you know when you see these videos of dolphins in SeaWorld, and they jump out of the water, they do their little flip, spin, trick, catch the fish, give the overseer a blowjob, I don't fucking know, I've never been to Orlando, and they fall back in the water, and the water splashes out, and it goes playfully over the audience. Yeah! It's playfully going over the audience because a dolphin doesn't weigh that much, figuratively speaking, so it displaces the equal amount of water plus whatever extra inertia is gained from the fall, which isn't that bad. It's like getting a hit in the face with a bucket of water. It's not that bad. This thing's the size of a fucking battle star! You're gonna get drowned and crushed, and you're not gonna get, oh, I'm a little bit wet. No, you're gonna die! Another thing, great white shark just dangled out in front of it, up comes the monster, grabs it, and down we go. But the cute little goat, no, you don't see that eaten, that gets eaten off screen. I'll get to the T-Rex as well. So, one of the things I will point out that I did quite like is that it shows the advent consumerism of the park. That everything has got to be bigger and better and louder and everything. You know, the herbivores are treated like a petting zoo. Now, I don't know whether they were just the babies that, you know, these little babies who aren't fully developed yet are allowed to have kids ride around them like they're some kind of fucking dino rider. Or whether they're actually genetically engineered small dinosaurs. That was definitely a point in the book. I don't think they ever really made much of a point of it in the film, was that they could breed them smaller. Now in this film, they have said they can breed them bigger. Fair enough. So these could be actual genetically engineered micro-triceratops and brontosaurus and diplodocus that you can go around on. Or whatever. Now, so that in itself, it could have been a byproduct, it could actually have been some subtle working into the actual movie that says this movie is, you know, it's just the evil of man. That, you know, they take these living creatures, which obviously only our protagonists realise are actually living creatures, to everybody else they're just a commodity, blah blah blah, you know, it's the evil of man and the greed of capitalism. That's, in some regards, very understated, in other regards, it's shoved down your throat. I mean, the first movie, the original Jurassic Park, when it came out in 1993, was groundbreaking. That 15 seconds of Richard Attenborough going, "Welcome to Jurassic Park," you got John Williams' fantastic score, rising to a crescendo, and then it just pans out, and the whole thing just makes you go, wow. It draws you in. It pulls you in as if you're actually sat there. This movie's got fucking none of that. Intelligent screenwriting, mutant dinosaur! distinctive characters? Two random fucking kids, hot ginger bird, hot nut blonde guy. All that's fucking missing is his 70s dance track. Velociraptors. Oh no, the goodies! Jurassic Park, it's a fucking Disney movie! They're training them like a pack of dogs. Fair enough, I understand the Velociraptors are intelligent. I understand that, yes, I suppose if they are that intelligent, then it would be possible to train them as some form of attack dog. I can give the movie credit for that one. However, how does the fucking pig get into the arena? You clearly see the pig run out, go through his little hole, and the metal gate slams shut. Next scene, he's back in the fucking thing. How? Then you have inexperienced dopey guy, leans over, grabs it, and physics works this time and pulls him over. Fine. Also, case in point, for a point that happened later in the movie, the Velociraptors were going to eat Star-Lord. They were going to attack him. He ran from them, and they went for him. How the fuck is he the pig in Alpha? Using them as bioweapons. Now we're getting into aliens territory. Using the Velociraptors as bioweapons. Okay, yes. I can understand the idea being put behind it. However, Velociraptors, well, unless you're fighting in a jungle, they're not much fucking use to you. They're not exactly inconspicuous. They have no understanding of things like urbanism. They can be defeated, but they've got no explosives, so a tank or a plane is going to pretty much put paid to them, not to mention they cost millions. And again, it's aliens territory, because it was the same idea they had in Aliens, was to bring it back for the bioweapons division. And now they're the good guys. But I'll get to that. The kids end up going out into the park. Oh, sorry, more aliens is when the Marines go in and they've got the Velociraptor and they're chasing Indominus Rex. I agree with Star-Lord, stupid fucking name. The Marines are going in and they're all big power happy and you can see their little digital readouts on the screen, and apparently these Marines are so well trained, they are so much of a cohesive fighting unit, every single one of their heartbeats is at the same rate and in sync with each other. That was a mistake they made in Aliens as well when they did that graphic. I don't know, maybe it was intentional, like Jango Fett bashing his head on the door. I don't know, maybe that one was intentional. I don't know. And then the Velociraptors, whose behaviour completely fucking changes. I mean, they go from being trained by one man up on a fucking balcony chasing a pig to running with the pack, and having no problem going where he's going, keeping up with him and overtaking him, not to mention having several loud vehicles coming up behind them, and until they actually turn on them, they display no instinctive pack behaviour. They're just running. Excuse me. Alright then, let's get on to the Indominus Rex. I need an oxygen mask here. What the fuck? Right, okay, I get that they could breed a hyper-intelligent monster dinosaur. I get that. That's fine. Yes, I can get that they build it bigger, better, better than before. They have the technology. Fine. But you cannot turn around and say that this thing can hide itself from thermal detectors. I would accept that it might be able to reduce its body heat so that other animals can't who might see in thermal spectrum radiation can't see it. It can't hide it from a technology that it would have no understanding of. It's alright saying that it's intelligent, but it has no frame of reference for what a thermal detector creature that has had no contact with anything except its food has the foresight and the planning to look like it's climbed and got over the wall. Even those people can't have been stupid enough to notice the fucking 50-foot fucking giant dinosaur has got out. And then hides, reduces its body heat so that thermal imagers can't see that it's there. So then they go in, and this thing then has the forward knowledge that the fat security guard is going to do something really fucking stupid, that instead of running to the gate with his mates decides that, no, I'm going to stop, turn around, and go to the great big fucking gate that opens really slowly for forced conflict. No! No! The Indominus Rex might be intelligent. I'll give it intelligence. It's not that fucking smart! All the dinosaurs have these trackers put into them. Actually not a bad idea, very good safe security measure. But, again, the Indominus is so smart, it cuts it out of itself. No, it fucking wouldn't, for the exact same reason it can't hide from thermal imagery. It has no frame of reference of what this fucking thing does. It's just a lump in its back, or wherever the hell it was. It wouldn't happen. And it's just, and it then has the, it then apparently knows human behaviour so well that it knows they're going to come after it. So it cuts it out, drops it on the beach, well, on the river, and then goes, I'm just going to stand here and wait for them to come get me. But I won't attack them until they find the little bug thing. The gyrosphere. Nifty little bit of tech. The glass is virtually unbreakable. Apparently it's also grass, leaf and dirt resistant. And tell me, what fucking theme park allows the guests to control the ride? And not just any fucking ride, but the one that goes out into the woods. And the brother who decides, I'm a rebellious teen, I'm not going to do the safe thing. I'm going to show my little brother the 4 ankylosaurs that were 20 feet in front of him so he can get close to the dinosaurs. 2 minutes after going past the Triceratops! No! And hyper-intelligent Indominus Rex, who can hide itself from thermal imagery, knows human behaviour without ever having to learn it, kills for sport, figures out to smash the gyrosphere to get to the goodies inside like he's breaking open a fucking walnut, doesn't notice them running away until it's convenient. Tyrannosaurus Rex. Little bit of a cameo at the very fucking beginning, and then it's Deus Ex Machina T-Rex. Incidentally, the T-Rex, which assumedly has never escaped and never has lived in a wild, stands toe-to-toe with the fucking Indominus Rex, which is a bioengineered, hyper-fucking-intelligent dinosaur, and is able to fight it. When we saw in the 3rd movie that it gets bitch-slapped by that other cuntbag thing. The Velociraptors, and the thing that really, really fucked me off. Star-Lord is saved by the power of love! Are you fucking shitting me? Power of fucking love, my bollocks! They're standing there with the Velociraptors. Looks like the Velociraptors are going to eat it. No! We're now going to switch sides again after the forced conflict with the Indominus, where we find out that it was, and if you didn't see it coming, then you must have been asleep. They bred it from the raptors. So it goes from Star-Lord is apparently the alpha that they tried to eat, to Indominus is now the new alpha, to fuck it, we don't want to kill Star-Lord, let's go attack the big thing instead. And then we have the final standoff with the Indominus, I'm assuming it was Blue. Yeah, they call the dinosaurs Blue, Delta, Echo, and Charlie. The Velociraptors. It's just... Why Blue? Is it because it was blue? So were the other fucking three. And then Blue shows up to save the fucking day, and the T-Rex and the Velociraptor, it's like watching Yogi Bear and Boo Boo standing there against the park fucking ranger. Though the way they actually finish off the Spinosaur, the Indominus Rex with the... Oh god, I'm actually getting a sore throat from all shouting. Though the way they finish off the Indominus Rex with the thing was actually... I will admit I did quite like that, but then I thought, fuck me, you've just ripped us Walking with Dinosaurs. Well, why not? You've played off the back of the first movie, you've ripped off the plot to fucking aliens. Why the fuck not? Now, obviously, since 1993 came, and we're now in 2015, we now know that Velociraptors were not 6-foot Deinonychus wannabes that were hyper-intelligent. We now know that they were about 2 feet tall and kind of looked like a half-plot chicken. Not quite as scary, however, they do turn around and say that, you know, we engineered them that way. Nice, clever way around it. Fair enough. Which brings me on to the recurring character from the very first movie, Henry Wu, who dies in the original book, but there we go. Henry Wu, who comes in and makes every single fucking mistake he made the first time. You'd think he'd have learnt. The mistake they made in the first one was using frog DNA to fill the gaps of the dinosaur codes. Dinosaurs, of course, could change sex, which led to the problems in the books that they could reproduce. In the film, so that they could reproduce. It's a much better problem in the book. But he hasn't learned from that! So he's just splicing DNA from every random fucking Furby he can find! He doesn't learn! And I think that's one of the problems in that, for whatever reason, they decided that Jurassic World, instead of it being a reboot, was going to be a sequel. A sequel which has no bearing from films 2 and 3. It's only a sequel to the first one. There is no mention of Site B. What happened to the dinosaurs on Site B? You had, on Site B, a living, breathing, working environment. I forget the actual terminology I'm looking for in my nerd-raging, orgasmic, giving myself a sore throat rant. So there was no reference to Site B at all. But ecosystem, that's the word I'm looking for. It had a working ecosystem on those islands. The second book explains it a lot better. So there is no reference to the events of San Diego, not a bad thing. There is no reference to the events of the third film. Again, not a bad thing. However, the scene in the third movie that a lot of people panned, apart from the talking Velociraptor, was the Avery scene. So they just decided, fuck it, we're going to do it again, and make it better. Only this time we'll have them escape the Avery, and for some strange reason, these things act like a 1950s B-movie, and just decide, you see all those things running around, we're going to attack them, en masse, in swarms. Why? Because the fucking plot says so. Right? Pterosaurs and quasilodactyls and the big headed ones, whatever they called, could not have lifted a human being, okay? You could argue that through the genetic splicing they would have been able to at least pick up a human being and carry them a short distance. It doesn't explain why they would decide to attack the humans en masse. I'm assuming in Jurassic Park, these people, you know, the dinosaurs get fed. Why attack them? What does it serve you to attack them? It doesn't serve any point. It just says... Yes, so there's no reference to Site B. They make all the genetic splicing, and if they're putting in the whole we fucked up with the genome shit that they would have learned from the first time they did it. They didn't learn from any of the mistakes they made the first time around. fucking god, I can do it all again. And it goes wrong. Okay, this time it's not industrial espionage that fucks up the park. It's just another stupid human error. The whole plot hinges on one nameless security guard deciding to run the other way. And not actually just run the other way, but start running with Star-Lord, stop, turn round, and go back to the slow giant door. Right. There was just what the fuck moments with Star-Lord being saved by the power of love. This film was just so uninspiring, and I'm sure there are things that I picked up watching it last night that I meant to say in this video that I've now forgotten because I've just ranted for the last 20 minutes and I can't remember half of what I fucking said. The first film was intelligent, it was awe-inspiring, it was thought-provoking, it had a message. Don't fuck with nature. This one's just a CGI wankfest that just references the first film, and in fact the second act is pretty much just a recreation of the run through the park scene from the first one. Another point in case, the eldest teenager, they end up in the old visitor centre from the first film, and despite the fact that this banner has been lying on the ground for 20 years underneath a breached open ceiling that somehow happened at some point, and has had 20 years of water falling on it, can be lit by tying it around a bone and using a box of matches. I'm sure that this movie is going to get ripped apart, but to me it was Jurassic Park was one of the first movies I ever saw in the cinema. I was 12 years old, I went for my birthday with my mother and my father and my brother. My sister was too young at the time. And I was awe-inspired. I came out open-mouthed. The velociraptors terrified me when they opened the door. But of course now we've got to cater for the generation of instant gratification, where intelligent writing and suspenseful drama is thrown to the wayside for having a comment made about your shoes so you undo your top. And I don't give a fuck. She's a fucking corporate jackass. There is no fucking way she can run through jungle in 3-4 inch high fucking heels. I'm actually out of energy. I wanted to shout about that bit. Your shoes are terrible! What are you doing? I'm getting ready so I can show me tits for the camera. Well, it's PG-12, so... Well, it's a 12A rating, at least in Ireland. I don't know, probably a PG-13 in America. Frankly, ordinarily I would never advocate this, but find a decent download of it. Don't waste your money. It's enjoyable in its own way, and a part of me misses it. But the days where I can just sit there and let a movie be a movie are gone. I can't do it anymore. Maybe I've just watched too much Nostalgia Critic. I don't know. Even though I don't watch him very much anymore, but there we go. Just so many things that I found wrong with it. And it was such a disappointment. It could have been so much better. It has nothing. First one. It's just a summer blockbuster that's got dinosaurs in it. It's not clever, it's not intelligent, it's not thought-provoking. Even John Williams, even the music, doesn't compare. The practical effects have mostly given way to CGI, though there is still some nice ones. I'd say watch it, but I don't know how to do it cheaply. I guess it's just the way that movies have gone. You've got to cater for the instant gratification demographic. I know a lot of people are saying this movie was brilliant. I was really disappointed in it. I was really let down with it. I went in not expecting a masterpiece. I went in hopeful. Halfway through, and I'm just sat there going, they're ripping off aliens, that doesn't make sense. This bit is stupid. He shouldn't be doing that. After a while, it just... Will I watch it again? I had a mate's house and they decided to stick it on. I'll watch it again and probably get kicked out within 40 minutes of pointing out all the errors. I actually stood up at the end of the scene, at the end of the film, and went, "That was fucking stupid," which actually got a general laugh. The final nail in the coffin had to be Star-Lord being saved by the power of love. Really had to be the final nail in the coffin for me. That was just... almost certain there are other things that I want to say about this and add to this. However, I'm extremely conscious of the fact that my camera light is flashing at me because I'm down to 1 bar of battery. I should have charged it a bit more before I did this video. And plus it's already running to 31 minutes. So I'll say thank you for listening to me. And I will just finish off saying, well, I'm Silverbolt, and I'm a goddamn sexual tyrannosaur!